Moving down to the bottom of the workshop. Again, it was revealed when I started getting things shifted that we've got an outflow here, which is the overflow, and the trench down there. I'm not cleaning out the trench yet, but that's another job to be done. Now walking down to the workshop. The other day, one of the first warm days, really warm days that we had, there was a nice big snake just lying, sunning itself down there, about 2 foot long. This is now the workshop come studio. It's still not it's not complete. What I want to do is this is the electricity, so got the electricity, and you can see the 12 volt and 240 volt coming in from outside, and then I've got a couple of power points on the 240 volt side there. At the moment the 12 volt only operates the light, but I can put in a power unit, which I will do. Now that the work has been done to the tiling on the terrace above, touch wood, we haven't had any further leakage into here, so it's dried, and I'm expecting it to remain dry because we put some felting in before we put the tiles down, so we should be directing any of the water through. We will have to watch, or I will have to watch for broken grout, because I think that was as much a problem as anything, that the water gets through the grout underneath the tiles and then wrecks the adhesive, and that's when you start getting the vegetation. So I think it's again, it's a yearly maintenance thing, just needs checking, re-grouting if required, and that'll keep this all dry. That's the intention anyway. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with the walls, whether to paint them white or line it. I don't know yet, but I want to upgrade it so that it is usable as a temporary bedroom, that sort of thing. I want to put a mezzanine floor in at about 7'6", 8 foot, something like that, which I can use for storage and get everything that's off on the ground at the moment onto the mezzanine. When I let go of the camper van, I kept certain things. There's a fridge underneath the bucket there, and also there is the hob and sink unit there, which again I can put in here, link it all up, and it then becomes a little self-contained pad if necessary. You'll recall from the first video that there was the irrigation pipe running out at the back of the deposito. I've repaired it because it was leaking, and it doesn't leak now, so that's again removed a source of damp out of this building. So the main outflow of water from the deposito is there, and that will irrigate anything below this level, which is some of these trees close by. We don't want to irrigate the almonds because they've now become acclimatized to the dry conditions, but these where we've dug new holes for trees, the planting of the trees, oranges and limes or whatever we decide, they will require irrigation, and I want to be able to irrigate along this banking for a similar reason to the original the bank as you're approaching the house to stabilise everything. Again, if you look, there were little terraces, little stone walkways along here, and I think they did originally have a little garden, again a little rockery of some sorts. I was walking the other day in the mountain, just across from the house, and walking in the terraces there, which are similar, very similar to my terraces. They're unwatered, they're not irrigated at all, but I noticed that they had a number of wild honeysuckle, and I was surprised that I hadn't got any, only to realise that this in front of me, now that I can see the flowers starting to come out, is a wild honeysuckle. I don't think I've got any more, but I'll now be able to look and just see whether I have got any. But the ones across the road were beautiful. The smell of them was gorgeous, fantastic. This is the traditional Spanish pizza bread oven. I've had the door repaired, and it's now just a question of rebuilding the brickwork here and putting the door back in. And I'm hoping to get that done in the next couple of months, because I've invited one of my neighbours to come round and show me how it actually cooks, and him and his wife will come round and show me actually how to use the thing. As I complete the basic maintenance of the house and putting in the waterway and that sort of stuff, I'm hoping to then be able to concentrate on these terrace verges and making sure that those are stabilised, cutting the grass back, encouraging new growth, maybe selective planting, and I think it'd be nice. This is the rose, a couple of dead heads there, but three nice new ones that last year I think I only had one rose in total. Strawberry fruits are starting to ripen, and I'm hoping that the almond crop is, it certainly looks quite good, but I'm waiting for the farmer to come up and just give me his opinion as to what he thinks. But the size seems to be you know, getting bigger as we progress through the year. I did notice that the olives seem to be coming along nicely. There looks to be plenty of olives on there, little ones. Don't know how many will get to fruition come the winter time, but certainly at this moment in time there's lots of little olives taking shape. Next to the olive tree there's this tree, which I've absolutely no idea what it is, but it seems to be putting out something at the moment. I'll have to check it up and see whether I can identify it. What I did notice the other day when I was walking around, and you can see it now, is this tree has put its pods out. I can't remember its name at the moment, but it's used as a chocolate substitute. The beans get ground down. It's also used as an animal feed, where the beans can get ground down and used in cakes and the like as a chocolate substitute. So I'm quite pleased about that, because it didn't fruit last year. Just going back on something that I missed previously, the shower room and the workshop work on this solar panel with its own separate battery and controller, whereas the house currently works on those two solar panels with its separate controller and inverter inside.